The Arthrosurface Hemicap Wave Patellofemoral Resurfacing incorporates two components, a cobalt chrome distal femoral component and an all polyethylene patella component. Beginning with the leg and extension, make a standard incision to expose the defect. With the incision made, it can be helpful to bend the knee to 20 to 30 degrees to obtain good visualization of the defect. Place and orient the offset drill guide so that the L marking is facing the lateral side of the joint. Position the offset drill guide and establish 4 points of contact. While maintaining pressure on the offset drill guide, chuck and insert the laser mark line until the laser mark line is flush with the back of the handle. Remove the drill and remove the drill guide. Advance the yellow offset sleeve to the lowest point on the femoral trochlea. Insert the contact probe over the yellow offset sleeve to the superior aspect. Read and obtain the mapping point and mark this on the appropriate card. Rotate the guide and map and obtain the inferior point. In this case, it's a 9.5. Insert the medial to lateral guide and obtain the lateral point. Rotate 180 degrees and map and record the medial point. Sizing is determined by taking the average of the superior to inferior mapping points and the average of the medial to lateral mapping points. Reference this on the offset card, and in this case, the trial is a 10 by 5 millimeter trial. The central reamer is selected based on the average of the medial to lateral offset values. The guide block is selected based on the positive or superior to inferior offset values. Alternatively, the mapping can be obtained using the templates. The superior-inferior template is placed central to the joint and against the guide wire, and rotated to select the one that best matches the articular cartilage curvature. In this case, 10.0. Medial to lateral mapping points are obtained using the medial to lateral template. Again, select the template that best matches the original articular cartilage curvature. Select the central reamer based on the medial to lateral offsets, in this case 5 mm central reamer. Advance over the guide pin so that the laser etch mark on the side is flush with the height of the original articular surface. Remove the reamer and guide pin and select the guide block based on the superior to inferior mapping points. Be sure to align the guide so that the lateral markings face the lateral side of the joint. Verify that the laser marks on the feet of the guide block are seated at the correct depth based on the cut of the central reamer. Do this for the lateral and medial sides. Secure the guide block onto the femur with the short guide pins included in the disposable set. Advance the circular scalpel into the superior and inferior bores of the guide block and using a twisting motion create a cut onto the articular surface. Select the outer reamer and assemble it into the white guide bushing. Insert the white guide bushing into the guide block and rotate 180 degrees. Chuck the reamer onto the Jacob's chuck and advance so the laser mark is flush to the back of the guide bushing handle. Rotate 180 degrees and remove the guide block. And repeat this process for the inferior bore. Again, reaming down so that the laser mark line is flush to the back of the guide bushing handle. This process is then repeated for the edge reamer. Taking the edge reamer and assembling it into the white guide bushing, and inserting and locking the guide bushing into the guide block. Removing the guide block, the surface preparation is now complete. The sizing trial is then selected based on the mapping points from the earlier step. The sizing trial is assembled onto the trial handle and inserted onto the joint surface. The sizing trial is oriented so that the L marking is facing the lateral side of the joint. Verify that the sizing trial margin is slightly recessed to the edge of the articular surface. If satisfied with the fit, the sizing trowel can be fixed to the bone using the short guide pins. Pilot drill is then advanced through the trowel handle to the laser mark. It is left in place and the trowel handle is then removed. The step drill is advanced over the pilot drill until it comes to an automatic stop. This can be visualized in the built-in window. Step drill is then reversed, and the tap is advanced over the pilot drill. The tap is advanced until the point where the back end of the pilot drill is flush to the handle of the tap. A titanium taper post is then inserted into the front of the trowel handle. There's a slight Morse taper fit, and the trowel handle is then assembled back into the sizing trowel. Place the hex driver through the trowel handle and advance until the stop on the hex driver comes into contact with the back of the trowel handle. Extract the hex driver and remove the trowel handle. To confirm the depth of the taper post, a placement gauge is used. The placement gauge is inserted into the sizing trowel until it is felt to engage onto the taper post. Placement gauge should be flush with the edge of the sizing trowel. With the fit confirmed, remove the guide pins and the sizing trowel. The correct femoral component is then opened and aligned so that the L laser mark is aligned to the lateral aspect of the joint. Using the implant holder, the implant is then engaged onto the taper post. And a mallet is used to confirm that the component is fully seated. This concludes implantation of the femoral component of the hemicab wave.